But records that I hold, yeah, I got those. It's the playoffs, the team just got home. We ain't going outside when it matter most. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic.
First off, let me talk my... Got a couple things I gotta cross off my list. How you insomniac for sleeping on my... It's a bad soundtrack, read the script. Born in the motherland, headed straight down to the south. Tennessee mornings with pops, working 3 jobs. I knew that they struggled to get it, that's why I wanted to get it. That embedded, you get it, treat it like the law. And I'ma need commission for this hit. Lance laid the canvas and I painted over it. I don't need a vision board to show you I'm betting on myself, count the chips. Got it. Made some choices for a profit. That's my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin. Just being honest. Try to sing my shit like Titanic and leave me with Jack. Hope I be panicking, but I rose to the top. Isn't it funny that the is built like a Maserati, yoga folding like Oregon?
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the Las Vegas Raiders. And we are underway here in Las Vegas. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Wise. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Jackson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So not quite a first and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Jackson. That is incomplete.
They're such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens are on the board first here in Vegas. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0.
Next the score, Ravens 7, Raiders 0. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. First down, it's Watson. And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Watson. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. Here's A.J. Cole now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Shreds him with a stiff arm. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. From the 27, Jackson. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. 27 yards. And the Ravens have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. He will return this from deep. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill? What? Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Past the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Jacobs going to try the middle, and he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. Watson now to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back. Drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Watson off play action. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. David Ojabo in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Back to throw here. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now, first down run with Jacobs going to be well read defensively as they'll stop him for a loss of a couple.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12.
21-0 our score after one.
The first quarter with the score Ravens 21, Raiders nothing.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Back to throw, Watson. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. On the move past the 40. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Now that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There's a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Singletary going to get the handoff. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On now is the field goal team. Here's the Raiders. Will try for 3. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They currently sit one game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. But, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff-worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
And they're going option play on third down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On second and 11 now. Jackson. He's got his man Randall. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hole.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
To throw is Jackson. Being chased out left. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense.
So certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up.
Now on third and forever, he'll look to throw.
Open man is Bateman. It's complete.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 33 yards that time.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Jackson now.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 46 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Oh, design run for their wideout. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Raiders force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Looking to throw on second down. Watson got a man. It's Darren Waller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
At the 44-yard line.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Ravens will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
At the 45-yard line.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
David Ojabo able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you could have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On 2nd down, here's the option. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
To throw is Watson. And that will be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Taking it about the 16. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and the Ravens, they'll take over.
18-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 64 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ballgame. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And space tough to come by there, as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. Look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the 50, it's Watson. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass. And sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing is Jackson.
Throw right side here, taken in by Bateman.
And he'll go out of bounds, looks like right at the 15.
Jackson to Bateman there for the Baltimore first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify. I said
now a loose football. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have really used the football to try to start eating into this deficit.
Yeah, because now possession's so crucial at this stage of the game. And when you've got an opportunity to hop on a turnover and you don't get it, you can feel the frustration all the way up here.
And the offense, they're living right now. Another bounce and break that goes their way.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 99 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And that is incomplete.
Sorry, it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Jackson going to hold on to it again. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
14 yards that time, and a 1st down on the keeper.
And the Raven 1st down.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 29 yards.
And the Ravens are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
So a designed run all the way, and he took it the distance. I don't know that anybody saw that coming.
Well, on this play, how about the vision of it? Being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly didn't work. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
It's a jet sweep. This is Renfro. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Stopped by the safety, Kyle Hamilton.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off.
Watson's throw pulled in by Renfro.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 31-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
David Ajabo
able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Watson. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down.
And now Watson throws another interception.
Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And the Ravens are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this the holiday season because here we are.
Season giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They'll start out here with the option left. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against him throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. A solid stiff arm. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This one from 48 yards away. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things.
The football comes out. Jacobs lost it. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Again, here's Bernard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Yeah, that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
27-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for Baltimore, they're not going to go quietly here as the win moves them now to 8-6 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, the rough season continues as they plunge to 1-13. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins.
dogs, it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. I'm whipping in track out with messed up suspension. I drove it so fast that I blew out the engine. I kept it too real ever since the beginning. I play offensive D, I might switch my position. Lil' mama was thirsty, so I had to quench. I'ma drive real fast, cause you know I shoot quick. Just like traffic Kelsey, I be having emotions. Just like the lamb, man, you know I'm exploding. My heart cold, bad, I ain't got emotions. I'm going hard, yeah, you know I'm devoted. We running streets, yeah, you know we control it. She love the kids, she be busting it over. I'm quarterbacking like I'm Kyler Murray. Trying to win, I'm up at practice early. Going crazy, I just rub the jersey. It's the first half, and we done dropped 30. We just up the scoring them, boy, man. I told my boys, it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs, it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game.
Money on my mind, head in the game. It's like I scored again, diamonds on them dance. I can hear the music playing with them bands. Crowd going wild, dived in the fans. I'm locking in on a mission, I'm turning my vision. You young, you should get like me.